Hello everyone, welcome back. And if you've been on this channel before, you know that I'm not just a garment sewer, which I love to do, but I also love to make accessories. I have been dabbling into some quilting and also just crafty stuff in general. So that's why I was very happy when Forget Me Not Patterns reached out and asked if I wanted to sew up their new tote bag. And of course I said yes. They know that I love sewing up all sorts of things. So I was very chuffed when they asked. I gladly said yes. And that is the new Zenta tote. You might have seen it over on Instagram, but if not, it's a lovely tote bag. But the cool part about it is the front of it is all pleated and it's done in a very interesting manner. And I sewed it up this past week and I'm very, very happy with it. But before I get into the nitty-gritty of this bag, I did film myself sewing this bag up. I don't really stop to talk because nothing I'm going to say is going to be anything different than what the pattern instructions or the pattern video says. But I did film myself making it up, so I thought I would throw in a little montage of me sewing up the bag. So grab yourself a cup of coffee, a cocktail of your choice, and enjoy me whipping up the Zenta tote bag.
Pressing everything. So the ones at the top are basically partial pleats. But if you just
I'm gonna mow the lawn now.
I just extended it up by 1 centimetre or 3/8 of an inch on the same trajectory, folding everything out of the way carefully and just this time because I wanted a joint to poke further up.
This is what she needs, I guess.
And it's starting to
Okay. Boom. Okay. This is where this needs to be. Wow. Am I done? Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that sewing montage. I always love to watch someone sewing, just watching someone sew. So I hope you also enjoyed it. Now onto the pattern. I am not going to lie to you. I have been carrying this bag and I just dumped everything out of it to bring it up here to show you because I obviously would like to show you the inside as well. But I've been carrying this bag ever since I made it. I used a cotton twill fabric that I got from Joann, and I wanted to be able, I wanted to be able to really see the pleat detail. So I did decide to do one of the pleat sides a different color. Maybe if I were to do this again, I might do also the side panel as well. I wasn't thinking clearly, and so I didn't do the other side panel, but whatever. I think it's really cool. And also in the instructions, it tells you that you can like block fuse the bag pattern, but you don't have to if it's a more like structured fabric. I decided to block fuse my pattern pieces. And not because I didn't think it wasn't going to like press well or hold its shape, but it was really just so I could tell what the wrong and right sides of the fabric was, because you can't really tell on this fabric. So really it was for me, and I'm really glad that I did that. And honestly, I would probably recommend that if you were to make this bag pattern and you were using a fabric that is the same on both sides. I would say like to block fuse it. It really does help you out in the long run.
It's a rock fact.
So that is the fabric that I used on the outside. And on the inside, I did pull this out of my stash, and it's a Rifle Paper Company, just a quilting cotton fabric. And yeah, I had this in my stash and I thought it went so well with my bag. And I decided to use the outside fabric as the pocket because I don't know about you, but sometimes when I make tote bags or any bag pattern and my pocket is the same pattern as my lining fabric, I sometimes miss the pocket. I can't like find it. So I'm like, I'm going to make it the same as the outside. So that's what I did. And then I put my label in it, what Valerie makes. I still have a bunch of these labels and I love throwing them in bags or whatever I make that it fits. So I put my label in it, and that is the gist of what the bag kind of looks like. My bag is slightly larger than what it comes out to be, and that's just because my printer printed it. It's supposed to be like a 4-inch box, and mine was like 4 1/4 inch. So I knew it was going to be the same scale. I wasn't meaning like the box wasn't not a complete square. So I knew everything was going to match up fine. But I do think that mine is probably just a little bit bigger than everybody else's if you print it correctly. Because of course I didn't just print out the one page first to measure. I printed the whole pattern. And I didn't want to reprint it, and I knew it really wouldn't matter. But I printed it out and I pasted it all together and then read through all of the instructions first, which I recommend because this isn't your typical tote bag construction. And yeah, not even just the pleating for the front, but just in general, the construction of the lining, how you attach the bag all together. It's it's techniques that like I have maybe only done once or have never done. So yeah, definitely give a good read through the instructions first. Let's get into some of the things that I want to share. I'm going to say this. I love the bag. I love the outcome. And if you are somebody who wants a challenge, I would say give it a go. You're going to love the outcome, and also you're going to love the challenge. The written instructions are pretty clear. As somebody who is a very visual person, I tend to lean more towards video because I can see it and then I can do it. And sometimes when I'm reading instructions, specifically with things that I've never done before, I have to read it, then I have to read it out loud, and then I have to read it out loud again, but like in a different way. That's just me and like my brain. So I feel like it took me a bit longer than maybe most to read through the instructions and feel like I knew what it was saying. And then even then, throughout the whole sewing process, I was like picking up my pattern and like reading it and trying to like really follow it. And I think I was pretty successful. Let's get into the part. So there's written instructions, but the part that is for the pleating, so the front of the bag, that is all video. So you will get a link to a video and you can go and watch it and you follow along. Now, I watched the video from start to finish downstairs on my big TV before I came up to my sewing room to sew this pattern. And on my big TV, it wasn't really a problem because it's a really great TV. It's big. But when I came up to you and used my computer to follow along the video while I was up here sewing it, I found the video very hard to see. And I might not even bring this up, but because the video is the only thing that's guiding you through the construction of the pleats, I think that most people are going to be watching it on like a computer screen. And I don't know if it's just on a small, like seeing it on a smaller scale. Also, the lighting for me was a little bit, even though I turned up and down my brightness on my screen, I was having a hard time seeing the right and wrong sides of the fabric. And when she was sewing it, like her light from the sewing machine kind of like blew out the video. And again, this might just be my computer, but I was really trying to like darken and lighten the screen just to see if I could make it any better. And honestly, like, I don't mean this in any kind of shade, and I don't like saying like negative, but I'm giving you my honest opinion about it. The video itself, I thought wasn't like step-by-step friendly. I could catch on eventually, but I feel like since the video is the only way that you can do this step, I kind of feel like the video should be like pristine. And unfortunately, in my opinion, it wasn't the best. And I've already given that feedback, but I did tell them that I was going to say it. So like, no, it's all out in the open, but I think that is my only true critique of this pattern in general. So let's just start back from the beginning though, because you see the crazy like shape of the front of this bag, and it's a crazy shape. And then once you get it all cut out, it took me 3 hours, and I'm not exaggerating. It took me 3 hours to cut, trace, mark all of my markings. Maybe you won't take that long, but for me, it took 3 hours to cut out this tote bag. And so that was a big chunk of the first day that I had like dedicated to this project. But I was like not mad about it. I was just like, wow, that took 3 hours. And then also it was pretty satisfying, like marking all of the markings on the front, like the way that I don't know. I really enjoyed marking it up. I just feel like it did take a long time. So get ready. And to make sure you have all the markings on the right side of the fabric and then on the wrong side, it is a process. But once I had it all cut out, I then started sewing it up. And honestly, it was a challenge, but it was pretty fun. Like fun looking back. I think during it, I was like, I mean, you probably saw some of my facial expressions in that little montage video that I did of me sewing it up. Yeah, even the lining attachment is something that I've not done before. And there is a part in it where you have to attach the seam allowance of the lining to the like seam allowance of the bag, just so that it holds the bag, I think, in place in the right way so it doesn't shift around, which makes total sense. But like reading it was hard for me to like comprehend. Now I did decide to do like the box tote bag, like the whole side panels situation and like the bottom, like you could omit that and just have like a basic tote bag. When they offered to gift me this pattern, I'm like, I'm gonna do it up. I'm gonna sew it up. So I decided to do like all the bells and whistles and everything that I could do and like follow the instructions exactly to how, like as best as I could so that I could give an honest review of this pattern. I couldn't be happier with the outcome. And honestly, like when I was sewing it up, I'm like, is this going to like look right? Is this going to be how you do it? So it was a lot of that, like a lot of like pausing and being like, are you sure? Forget-me-not patterns. Are you sure? But they're sure. It works out. If you want a challenge, I highly suggest you going to give it a go. I feel like a project like this is perfect. Because for me, I was kind of in between projects. I was kind of wrapping something up while I wasn't sure what else I wanted to do. And so I was like, let's do this. And it was a challenge, but it was a lot of, I'm not upset that I made it. And honestly, I would make another one. I think that's the real test of like trying out a pattern. It's like, if you're done and you can like it, but would you make another one? And honestly, I can confidently say that I would definitely make another one. So do with all this information as you will. And I would like to know if you're interested in this tote bag, if you've bought the pattern, if you've sewn the pattern yet, let me know what you all thought down in the comments below. I would love to have a bigger conversation about what everyone else thought about sewing this bag up. And if you've been thinking about purchasing this pattern, but you haven't done it yet, maybe now's the time, because they are so generously offering 20% off to my subscribers. So you can go to their website and use Zenta Valerie 20 to get 20% off. And that is good until I think the 21st. Go ahead and do that if you were thinking about doing it. If you weren't thinking about doing it, but now you are, go ahead and use that code. And thank you so much for clicking on this video and watching until the very end. I appreciate you all so much. And that is it for me. And until next time, bye.